Stephanie Ruhle is the NBC News senior business analyst and host of MSNBC's The 11th Hour and the best explainer of the economy out there, bar none. And she joins me now. So, Stephanie, you know all these players, these people, you know the economy so well. I mean, give me your reaction to what Barry Diller just said. He didn't mince words. What did you make of what he had to say?
And he never does, right? I remember when Donald Trump was running for office, Barry Diller has been a New York major businessman for decades. And it was years ago, Barry Diller looked right in the camera and said, he's a two-bit huckster. He's a scam artist. He's a con artist. Barry has been saying that for years, which, by the way, most people in the business community have been saying about Donald Trump. So when you watched him right there, he doesn't even take this seriously. He's exasperated because Barry runs a public company where you actually have to have the fundamentals of a company analyzed, and then people invest in that company, and you have to accurately represent to your potential shareholders what this company does and the earning potential. None of that is happening here. So you saw Barry, he's not even taking it seriously.
No, I mean, he almost seemed perplexed, like almost like he had a loss for words, which he doesn't typically have during what he said.
Yes.
So what's the impact? I mean, we've seen the stock go down a significant amount. What's the impact of a takedown like that? Is there one?
Okay, like, let's be clear. Everyone's saying, oh my gosh, the stock has dropped so much. It has, but it is still worth billions of dollars. And this is a company, like, this is kind of the greatest con out there, right? You took Donald Trump's social media company that has no technology innovations. It has no interesting products. It is just Donald Trump super posting day in and day out. A couple of guys from The Apprentice said, hey, let's turn this into a company that we eventually go public with. And that's what they've done. Now, he can't sell the stock right now because there's a lockup period, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. A lot of the buying and selling over the last week and a half, remember, there was craze around it. There are some kind of true Donald Trump believers, that MAGA crowd who might be buying the sneakers or buying the Bibles. But then there's others who are day traders who are playing this game. You know, Barry mentioned it, the same people who are buying, you know, kind of GameStop and the movie theater company during COVID when there was a total disconnect from the actual performance of this company. At the end of the day, this company loses tens of millions of dollars. And the people who are truly in it, and this is what people should be concerned about, are potentially people who are trying to make unregulated donations, curry favors with a person who might be the next president of the United States. And that is serious cause for concern, because here's the issue. It's legal.
Which is so crazy. It's also, as Barry, as he just said, I mean, they're doing it for other reasons, right? Which just seems like what you just articulated. So the question my girlfriends ask me a lot, and friends that are guys too, I'm sure you get asked this too, is this going to help bail Donald Trump out with his legal bills? It seems like that has calmed down, but what do you tell people who are asking you that?
It might. Right? Like he's the luckiest guy in the world. It might. Just think about this. He is sitting there facing hundreds of millions of dollars in fines, in legal bills, right? He's got 80 plus charges against him, and he's running for president. He could end up cashing out of this and finding a solution, just like it's extraordinary that he found this guy in LA this week to secure his bond. And the funny thing is, the guy who put the $175 million up for Trump said, you know, when they lowered the cost, remember it was going to be $464 million. When they dropped it to $175, he said, I actually thought Trump had the money. He wouldn't need it. Maybe Donald Trump does. But you know what he specializes in? OPM, spending other people's money.
Yes.
And he done it again.
He's done it OPM. People need to learn that phrase. So let me ask you about the economic numbers and data today, because the U.S. economy added over 300,000 jobs in March. Good numbers. Unemployment rates declining slightly. Wages rising faster than inflation. Explain why some people are saying, yes, this is a good report, but bad news potentially for Biden because of the impact it may have on the decisions the Fed makes.
Okay, we're going to go for a few things. And like, as we're talking about this, Twitter is going to go crazy that they're going to say we're talking down the economy. We're not. Let's just put it over here.
Calm down, Twitter. It's a Friday night. We're just explaining.
Okay. We have a very strong economy, right? Our economy continues to grow. We've had a better recovery than any other country in the developed world post-COVID. Great news. However, Inflation is an issue. Even though it's slowed, it's an issue. What the president and what the country would like is for the Fed to cut interest rates, to lower borrowing costs. And when the job market is still this hot, that might make the Fed hold off. Now, when you look at the job market this hot, you realize this is great for America. There's an immigration story in there, Jen, with all those immigrants who are coming into the country. They're getting scooped up into the labor force in this country. But the issue for the president, the not good story is, despite all of this positivity, he has the overhang of inflation. So you and I can sit here and talk about all of this good stuff, but people's lived experience day in, day out, their car insurance, buying a car, their rent, the grocery store, going to a restaurant, life is expensive. And is corporate greed partially to blame? Absolutely. But that is just part of the story. And, you know, it is really good news that we're seeing wages go up, right? Go up. In California, minimum wage is about to go to $20 an hour. That's great news for our labor force. And while that shouldn't automatically mean we should expect higher prices, it is what we end up getting. So if you own a small business out there, Jen, if you owned a sandwich shop and you are now paying your employees more money, and that's going to help retain employees, it's going to help attract employees, in the end, you might end up charging more, because all sorts of your input costs are going up. It's something we have to currently get used to, but it makes this to be a difficult communications challenge, and that's your expertise for the White House.
You're pretty good at this. I mean, I know you know a lot of things, but you're the economic explainer-in-chief in many ways. Stephanie Ruhle, thank you as always. Have a great show tonight. Wonderful to see you.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.